If you thought political theater couldn't get any better, you're in for a treat. Let's dissect how President Biden's performance was a spectacular flop and how his own party and even CNN turned their backs on him. The stage was set, the lights were bright, and the expectations were high. Unfortunately for Biden, his performance quickly turned into a spectacle of gaffes and confusion.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Wow, that was quite the entrance, wasn't it? Biden looked like he was dragged out of a cozy nap and shoved onto the stage without any coffee. It's almost like watching a grandpa at a family reunion who's forgotten everyone's name. The confusion, the stumbling, pure gold for Trump's camp. Next, we saw a heartwarming yet equally concerning moment where First Lady Jill Biden had to assist Joe off the stage.
The First Lady Jill Biden helping her 81-year-old husband off stage. You can see pretty small steps there, but having to be helped off. He clearly needed assistance to descend those steps to greet the two CNN moderators after that.
Ah, Jill Biden, ever the dutiful wife, or should we say caretaker. It's touching, really, but not the image you want for a president. The internet had a field day with this one, calling it elder abuse and suggesting Jill talks to Joe like a toddler. Seriously, Jill, save the bedtime stories for home. To make matters worse, Jill's attempts to publicly support Joe were awkward and backfired.
I can't thank you all enough for staying and for being here and for all your support. Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lied! Yes. So, Joe, I'm going to hand it over to you because we have such a great...
Cue the cringe. Jill's praise was so over the top, it felt like she was applauding a toddler for using the potty. Did you know all the P's and Q's, Joe? It's almost as if she's trying to convince herself more than anyone else. The public reaction? A collective eye roll. As if that wasn't enough, Biden had to address his performance during a rally the next day. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well.
Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Well, at least he's honest. Biden's self-deprecating remarks were a sad attempt at damage control. It's like he's saying, sure, I might trip over my words, but I promise I won't trip over the nuclear codes. Inspiring, isn't it? On the other side, Trump was ready and hit hard on the controversial topic of abortion, showing a stark contrast to Biden's fumbling.
Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected.
Trump, ever the showman, took full advantage of Biden's flubs. He delivered his lines with confidence. And whether you agree with him or not, he came prepared. His stance on abortion was clear and unyielding, making Biden's vague ramblings look even weaker by comparison. Biden's attempt to rebut Trump's points on abortion was, predictably, a disaster.
A third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Biden tried to hit back on abortion, but it was too little too late. His points were muddled, and Trump seized the moment, painting Biden as a radical. It was like watching a chess match where one player forgot the rules halfway through. Then, in a move that truly signaled the shift in the winds, CNN came out with a brutal fact check of Biden's statements.
Now, President Biden also made false claims, at least 9 false or misleading statements on first count. I'll give you some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself.
Oh, the betrayal. CNN, Biden's old buddy, turned on him faster than a politician at a fundraiser. The fact-checking segment was a brutal takedown, highlighting his inaccuracies and outright lies. Looks like CNN isn't covering for Joe anymore. The reactions from within Biden's own party and other CNN pundit were equally telling, with many expressing deep concern about his performance.
I, too, was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak.
You know it's bad when Obama's people are freaking out. The private texts, the behind-the-scenes panic. It's like watching the Titanic's crew realize they've hit an iceberg. The Democrats are scrambling, folks, and it's a beautiful mess. Kamala Harris, of course, tried to put a positive spin on the situation, but let's be real, it was a tough sell.
Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people, on substance, on policy, on performance. Joe Biden is extraordinarily strong.
Kamala, bless her heart, tried to put a positive spin on it. A clear contrast, she says. Yeah, like night and day, or competence and whatever that was. It's almost adorable how she thinks anyone bought that strong finish narrative. In conclusion, Biden's debate performance was a train wreck, and the aftermath was even worse. From Jill's awkward support to CNN's brutal fact-checking, it's clear that the Democrats are losing faith. Expect more drama as they scramble to find a viable candidate to replace him. Stay tuned, folks. The show's just getting started.